Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the virtual speaker series. I'm Paul Clifford, and I'm excited to see the Zoom room filling up. Go ahead and let us know who you are and where you're from in the chat box. We'd love to welcome you in. We have a great program lined up. We are going to be talking with Linda Salavarria from the Sokolov-Miller Family Financial and Life Skills Center here at Penn State. And we will be getting started in just a minute. We just want to let everybody who signed up get into Zoom, and we will start our program momentarily. Welcome to the virtual speaker series. Again, welcome into the virtual speaker session. We have a great program lined up for you today. Let us know who you are and where you're zooming in from in the chat. Closed captions are also available. You can find the instructions for the closed caption and how to activate that in the chat box as well. There's also a link if you'd like to customize your closed caption experience. We'll be getting started in just a minute. Where else would you rather be than a Zoom full of Penn Staters? I'm Paul Clifford, CEO of the Penn State Alumni Association, and I'm excited to welcome everybody to today's virtual speaker session, which is being recorded. Live closed captions are available for this event. You can access them by clicking the closed caption button at the bottom of your Zoom video window, and then clicking Show Subtitle. You may also customize your caption view by clicking the Stream to Text link posted in the chat, or if you're zooming in or if you're watching us on Facebook, the instructions are in the comments on Facebook as well. We are live streaming today's presentation, and this live stream has been made possible through the gracious support of a donor and the Fund for Access, Ideas, and Audacious Goals. Today's presentation will be archived and available on our website after the event. This afternoon, we welcome Linda Salavarria, who is an education program associate at the Penn State's Sokolov-Miller Family Financial and Life Skills Center. Endowed in 2018, Penn State's Sokolov-Miller Family Financial and Life Skills Center is committed to providing students with resources needed to make informed decisions regarding money management. In this talk, Ms. Salavarria will highlight the services offered by the center, including a host of online resources that are available to students and the community as a whole. She will also discuss their mentoring program, which links current students with an alumni mentor to explore topics like budgeting, credit card and debt management, and other financial literacy topics. Linda is an alumna of the State University of New York at New Paltz and Nova Southeastern University with a BA in Communications and an MS in Student Affairs, respectively. Linda's background in higher education includes positions in financial literacy, academic advising, and financial aid. She has served student populations that encompass first-generation, non-traditional, and traditional graduate and professional and online students. Linda is a certified financial education instructor through the National Financial Educators Council. Please join me in welcoming Linda Salavarria to the virtual speaker series. Linda, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, thank you, Paul, and thanks for everyone attending today. I'm really pleased to be able to address the group and introduce you to our services and resources. What I'd like to do first is just share my screen and give you a little bit of a presentation regarding our services. And then I'll show you our website, which really does give you a hands-on understanding of the type of things that we have available for students and the community. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and talk a little bit about the center and what we have available. So just to give you, and Paul mentioned a little bit about our background, but again, just to give you a little bit of a history about the center, we started in 2013, and it was a pilot program addressing adult learners, mostly on the World Campus and online education students, and it was an outreach program. And then in 2016, it began as the Penn State Financial Literacy and Wellness Center. Then in 2017, the program was transferred right onto the University Park campus. We're currently in Grange Hall. Currently, actually, we're in Zoom. But when we're back on campus, we are in the Grange building. And in July 2018, the center received a generous endowment from the Sokolov-Miller family, which allows us to have on 5 full-time staff members, 2 graduate assistants, and we usually have about 10 student ambassadors. So in October 2018, we had a $100K gift from PSE CU to support the self-study modules, which I will show you on our website. And then we have, in 2019, we received a $150K gift from PNC. So our relationship with PNC is for mostly students that are graduating or for professional members at PSU who would like to get more information about banking and investing options. So that kind of just gives you a little bit of a history and a background here. And as I said, we're usually in the Grange building when we're not in a pandemic. And that's where we see students every day. And we have our website and we have our email and phone number for easy contact for the students. So this is our website. I'm just going to run down the website a little bit in the presentation because it's very stagnant. And then I'm going to show the actual website so you can get a visual. So this is our website, financialliteracy.psu.edu. And just to kind of give you an understanding of how we approach this in an educational way, we're hoping to achieve an impact-oriented education for the students regarding financial wellness. So what we try to do is give them the knowledge, right? So in our, when instructors request us to speak to their classes or they come in on the one-on-one appointments, we share any kind of resources or information that will be helpful to the students, for whatever reason they need, student loans, budgeting, any type of information. And then we try to motivate them to take an action, either do some research on their own, begin a budget, try to find some information that will help their situation or whatever problem they're seeking help with. And hopefully the point of that is to change their behavior. Ultimately, we want the student to be able to change their behavior so that they can utilize this information and activity, not just while they're in Penn State, but when they graduate and when they go on with their lives and transition into their professional careers. We usually address core competencies, earning, saving, investing, spending, borrowing, and protecting their information and their money. So these are the type of things we emphasize when we speak to classes and when we address students. Different elements of financial well-being. We really like to underscore, the students having a solid financial foundation with savings and with having an emergency account because things always happen. And we try to underscore that with the students. At this point in their development, a lot of times, as we're all familiar, we've all been there. Many times students don't understand the importance of having a solid financial foundation, especially when it comes to emergencies and situations that occur, suddenly. So we really like to underscore having that savings, having that emergency account, and also gaining the understanding that these type of things with that solid foundation allow the student to reach their goals, create goals, reach their goals, and have that sense of financial security and freedom. You know, while they're studying, it's very important not to add to any stress they may be having while they're studying. And then when they do that transition period into their profession, into their career, it's a good thing for them to also have that sense of security and that feeling of financial wellness, so that they're not adding to the stress for each of those situations. So again, we like to underscore those so the students have those, you know, those tools to make their life easier and better for themselves. A lot of times with our curriculum, we address issues such as budgeting. You know, that's one of the big questions we get from students. So that's a big one in our curriculum, budgeting, you know, how to manage your money. And also credit card, credit score, and debt management, because we do have students that either have out loans or they're utilizing someone else's funds or borrowing funds from a family member so that they're paying for their education. So we want to address that, and that's a strong part of our curriculum as well. And again, the student loan borrowing, this is also important. We do work with financial aid when necessary regarding student loans. You know, we have access to the students' financial aid information. So if we need to counsel them regarding that, we can do some of that. Although we don't do any kind of packaging, anything like that. But just with regard to the information and educating them on what's going on with their loans. We also refer students to other offices at Penn State. If we have to refer them to student affairs, or if we have to refer them to academic advising, if we have students that are, you know, really struggling financially and they don't have health insurance, student affairs does have a department that works with students to help them with health insurance and matters that might require social services. So we definitely work with students on that level. And again, with the academic advising, we like to express that, you know, it's important for the student to maintain an understanding of their curriculum and do their best to graduate on time, because the longer you stay in school, the more money you end up paying for your education. So again, we work with academic advising to get the student to understand how your academics work hand in hand with your financing. And we do have our presentations in self-study modules. So I will go over that when I show you real quick our website. So yeah, that's just a visual of the website there. Our website is very interactive. And it's really great. It's easy for the students, and it's also easy for faculty when they want to schedule an in-classroom webinar with us. Any of the associates or ambassadors work with that. So it's real interactive, easy for the students to schedule an appointment, easy for instructors to schedule an appointment. Since everybody's on Zoom right now, that's how we're working. So it's very interactive, easy to schedule things. And this is just, again, a visual of how we do that. And I'll go over that real quick on the website. We have other events that we advertise. We have our trivia game. We have our webinar series. It's focused on different subjects throughout the academic year and even in the summertime. So students can join. It's literally just a click on the Zoom link, and students and members of the community that are interested can just join in the Zoom, and they can participate in the webinar, ask questions. They can join the trivia games, which is great because we do it in Kahoot. And students can, you know, have kind of fun interaction while they're learning about financial literacy and topics that address their financial wellness. So the Kahoot game is real fun. We've done it all through the summer. It was a lot of fun. And again, there's our trivia series that I was just talking about. Now, I do want to mention our mentoring program. This is a program that connects our students to the alumni with regard to their financial wellness and an understanding of financing, budgeting, et cetera. there are many programs that kind of reflect that having a mentor or having someone who has experienced the same type of situation that another person has, that it really creates a valuable relationship for that person that's seeking the information. So for a student who may be in transition from college to a career, or they may have questions about how, you know, as an alumni, how you were able to manage your funding in school, how did you budget? Being able to ask someone who's been through that and had that experience, it's very valuable for the mentee. It's very valuable for them to be able to share that with someone who has that information and experience already. So our mentoring program develops that relationship with the student and the alumni. And we've had some really good experiences and success stories, you know, the people that are involved and the students that have been involved in the mentoring program, they seem to feel that they're getting a good, you know, some good resources, good knowledge. And it's also a great way for the students to network. You know, they can network with people in the field. And how did you manage your career? And, you know, it's just a great way for them to gain an understanding, especially of that transition from school to their profession and their career. So the mentoring program is kind of a new program for us, but we do have quite a few people that have signed up already. You know, we're hoping to grow that program within the next year or two. And again, this is just some of our modules, the self-study modules. It's self-service. The student clicks on the little tab and it takes them to some information and questions. There's a little quiz at the end so they can test themselves. It's very interactive. And again, the students can do it on their own time, their own schedule. If they have a question about income tax or debt or student loans, they can click on that module and get the information that they're looking for. And we record our webinar series. So this is also another way that the students can get information and they don't have to maybe sit through the whole thing. But we record our webinar series and we put it on our Money Counts as one of the resources that we offer. So a student can actually watch the webinar after it's happened. And they can get the information they're looking for on their own time. So let's say they're not able to make the webinar, but maybe on a Saturday morning they have time to review it. They can go on our Money Count series, click on that webinar, and they can watch the whole thing that they missed, you know, the previous week or whatever. They can also download the PowerPoints. And we also have instructors that do that as well, because all this information is available to the full community. Actually, it's available to the world. We have had participants on our webinars and trivia games from other colleges. We've actually had alumni come and participate in our trivia game, which is kind of fun. So it's not just available to the community and the students, but it's available to anybody in the country or even in the world, which is great because we have students all over the world. And this information is accessible to all of them. So that's the end of the quick presentation. I would just like to quickly share my screen and show you the website, just to show you a little bit of the interactive you know, availability of our resources here. So hopefully, I'm hoping you guys can see. If there's any technical problems, please let me know. This is the website. And this is how easy it is for students and instructors to request a session or a one-on-one appointment. They literally just go, here's to schedule a group session for an instructor, and here's for a student to schedule appointment. They just click on the request. If we go up here, we have the self-study modules. So that is, you know, on a separate page, like I showed you in the presentation. If we go up a little here, we have our Money Counts, the financial literacy series. This is where the links are for the students or anybody who wants to participate to click on the Zoom link and join our webinars or our trivia game events. Down here on this particular page is, like I said, where we have our recorded presentations. So if you don't have the time to attend, but you do want to watch, you can watch at your leisure. Any student, any member of the community can do that. And I did want to mention about the webinar series. We do have professors, members of the community, specialists in their field, from the community that do speak on the webinar series. So, we'll have a professor, we'll have an administrator who is familiar with the subject, has a specialty in that particular subject. They'll speak at that webinar series, which really is great because then the students are not only getting information from us regarding that subject, but they're also getting people that are deeply familiar with that particular subject and have like a wealth of information on that subject. So I'm just going to scroll up here and go home and just trying to see the mentoring program. This is real easy to join as well. And again, I wanted to focus on this because we're always looking for wonderful mentoring, mentors from our community. So this is a simple join the program. And if you click on this link, it will take you to information on how to join. You give your information. You also can give information on what you would like to share with a student. Is it transitioning to career? Is it budgeting? Is it investing, things like that, that maybe you feel that you have a better understanding and you would like to help someone gain more understanding on that subject. Now, I just want to stipulate with the mentoring program, this is strictly educational. So we don't have mentees and mentors that are looking to sell or, try to, get somebody to invest in their startup business, that kind of thing. This is strictly educational. And so far, again, like I've said, it's been very successful. We've had some really good responses from the individuals involved because they're gaining an understanding, they're gaining information, and it's all very educational. Because even as associates, we do not steer our students in any direction. We give them support, we give them resources, we give them information. But, ethically, we don't tell a student specifically what to do. This information is available to them to help them make decisions for their life. We don't make the decision. We don't tell them what to do or where to go. The students ultimately make their own decisions, which is great because that's what education is for, to give people information, and then they make the best decision for their situation. So at this point, I'm going to stop the share. And if anyone has any questions or comments, I'd be happy to take them.
That's wonderful. So we do have a couple questions that are coming in. First question is, are these services also available to alumni? Can alumni log into the site and gain information, or do you have to be a student or staff member?
No, the only thing that is not available to alum is the one-on-one appointments. So the one-on-one appointments are available to current students. Once you transition into alum, everything else is available. Basically, the website is structured so pretty much any person in the world, if they're interested in getting this information, they can just get on the website and they can watch the webinars. They can join in the webinars. I mean, as I said, we've had people from other colleges. We had some administrators from Oklahoma we were working with, and they joined the trivia games. So it's available to anyone throughout the world. The only thing that's restricted solely to our students is the one-on-one appointments.
So structurally within the kind of the makeup of the university, where is the Sokolov-Miller Family Financial and Life Skills Center housed? Are you in student affairs? Are you in one of the colleges?
We're in the college. We're in the undergraduate college.
Okay. Okay. And where are the physical offices located?
Grange building. So we would usually be in Grange, beautiful Grange, right by the hub parking deck.
That's great. So that brings up an interesting question. How are students gaining access, and how have you seen students accessing your services during quarantine and during kind of COVID-19 times? Are you seeing an uptick? Are you seeing fewer students? How is the pandemic affecting the work of the center?
And that's a good question. Thank you. We have seen a little bit of an uptick in the one-on-one appointments. I think, Zoom has allowed more accessibility, and students have been reaching out to us on Zoom because it's much easier for them, to reach us when they can make an appointment. And I did want to mention, and this is part of my focus in my position, working with the Commonwealth. So me personally, I have been reaching out to the classes and the students in the Commonwealth and working with the instructors to try to get more instructors to utilize our services in class, as well as making myself and our associates available for one-on-one appointments. That in itself has increased our availability and our interaction with the whole Commonwealth. So I would say that, the pandemic has increased our availability on Zoom. So, regular college students here at University Park, but also throughout the Commonwealth, it has increased because we're reaching out to the Commonwealth campuses, and they have been utilizing our services as well. So, the pandemic has actually been a good way for us on Zoom to reach out and get more people involved. Hasn't been such a bad situation. I mean, my opinion.
Now, not necessarily part of your presentation, but I think it's a little bit of an interesting story that I think some of our guests might be interested in hearing. But you are recent to Penn State. You started, your first day was actually March 16th. And so that date coincides when most of us went to full remote and work from home status. Talk about your transition into this new role, having not worked in the office yet.
It's been very interesting and challenging, but it's been fun. I mean, I really enjoy the work I do. I really enjoy dealing with the students, working with the students. But boy, that was quite the day on the 16th when the office was closed, and I was anticipating going in and meeting my coworkers and my boss, and that did not happen. And it literally has not happened over the last 8 months, aside from one time, I went hiking with my coworkers. But it's been interesting, to say the least. But everyone here at Penn State has been helpful. Everyone has been very welcoming. So that has not been an issue. But Zoom has, it's a benefit, being able to have more access to students around the state. And then there's the issue of not actually meeting people and getting to know the community, and being part of that campus environment that we're here for that, and we love it. And I haven't been able to participate in that yet. So, looking forward to getting to do that soon.
So I know the center is relatively new. I mentioned Endowed in 2018. Can you talk about how students come to the center? And what I mean by that is, it looks like a lot of the programs that you have are proactive, right? It's to give students the tools to deal with situations that they might face in their futures, right? But how many of them come looking for solutions to active challenges that they're having, right? They're not there from the proactive standpoint of kind of building their skill set and the tools, but they're kind of in crisis. What is the, I don't want to say like the percentage, but are students looking at this as a service that might help them, today, or help them long term?
And that's a good question too. So as I mentioned, we do work closely with other administrative departments. So if we have a student that they're struggling with their financial aid or their student loans, financial aid may refer them to speak to us so that we can assist them to get kind of a handle on things financially. We do, and me personally, this past term, I worked with students from Commonwealth campus. They were on the satisfactory academic progress, which means that they are either losing their financial aid because of their academic progress, their lack of continuing progress, or they're in danger of losing their financial aid because of their academic progress. So these students need kind of more of an understanding of how their finances and their academics are, combined, like how they work together. So if the student is not taking the initiative to come to us of their own, accord, they're not doing it like, oh, I'm going to get a new job, can you help me? We will get referrals from either other departments, other instructors on campus, with students that are in a crisis. We do have students that maybe they're losing their health insurance or they don't have health insurance. And there is a specific department in student affairs that works with students regarding insurance, and potentially other social services that they may need. So we work closely with them to assist that student in managing their financial resources, and hopefully get them to develop habits that once their crisis has been addressed, they develop habits that will help them the next time they have a crisis, because there's always a crisis in life. The next time they have a crisis, they develop habits and they know resources they can go to so that they can resolve it a lot quicker and a lot easier for themselves. So yeah, we get a lot of students that are referred by instructors, other departments. I don't know the percentage though, but possibly like 60-40, maybe even 50-50. But the whole purpose is for us to address their crisis as best we can, and then give them tools to address the next crisis so that they're more prepared in life and in their finances.
That's great. You mentioned some of the other offices that you work with on campus. It seems to me that that the parents, the Penn State Parent Network might be an office that would be interested in learning more about the work of your center. Is that a current partnership? And do you see parents reaching out on behalf of their students for these types of services?
In my experience, no. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but in my experience, since I've been here, it's strictly been the students reaching out. Although on the one-on-one appointments, when I've had a few one-on-one appointments, the parents have been involved. For example, the student has a Zoom appointment and they want mom or dad or, relative to be with them on that Zoom to get information as well. But we haven't worked, or I haven't worked specifically with any parent organizations. Not saying that that's not happened or it's not a possibility, but I personally haven't worked directly with any parent organizations on campus.
Yeah. So, so students, I guess part of this is that it's kind of imperative on students to reach out to take advantage of these services. But is there are there any strategies in place that try to identify students that are in jeopardy, or students who might need these services but don't know that these services exist? Kind of a referral network to help students that might be in trouble.
Yeah, well, in terms of marketing, we do list ourselves on the weekly activity. I think there's a campus activity. I guess it's a sheet or it's an email that students receive. So we're listed, and we do work closely with marketing to get our name out there, get our events out there, get our services out there. So we do have a relationship with marketing to get our name out there and make it available to students. But like I said, we really, in my opinion, we need to work more with the Commonwealth so that we actually give them an understanding that we're here for them too.
Right.
So that if there are students that aren't familiar with our services there, that they do have access to us just like everyone else does throughout the state. It's kind of easier on University Park because everyone is located near each other. So financial aid and student affairs, we can contact people real easy. And if they refer a student to us, that's having a problem right now, a current issue, we can deal with it right away on campus. The issue that really is, that we need to reach out a little more to the Commonwealth. that's kind of where I'm hoping we can grow our presence and market more to those students, because they have a need just like our students here at University Park.
Right.
So that's one of the things I'm hoping to work with Dodd, my supervisor. We're hoping to work together to do more outreach and marketing to the Commonwealth. Here at University Park, though, we do our marketing here. We have a presence, a physical presence on campus. So it's a little bit easier for us to make ourselves available to the students. And of course, we do our in-class presentations, and word of mouth with students is one of the most valuable tools we can have. Because if a student is satisfied with our services and they had a one-on-one and it worked great for them, they'll tell their friends and so on and so on. And that's how it works.
Absolutely. Well, look, we should talk offline. We have partners on every campus across the Commonwealth that we call our directors of alumni relations. Matt Eichelberger on our team works with his colleagues across the Commonwealth on every Commonwealth campus. And so it might be a good opportunity for you to do a presentation like this in front of that group to help spread the word of the good work that you all are doing here. Yes, it's based here at University Park, but its mission is to serve all Penn Staters across the Commonwealth. And so if we could be helpful in getting that word out, just don't hesitate to ask. I think
Awesome.
This is a great service.
Yes, that's great.
So
Thank you.
I also see in the chat, Sarah's going to pass some of this information on to the College of Nursing. And again, those DARs that I mentioned, they're not only on every campus, but we have one in every college across the University Park campus as well. And so again, a great group for you to be in front of. Linda, thank you so much for presenting today. This is a valuable service that gives our students the tools that they need to go out and really thrive in the real world. And we're grateful that you've taken time to share that here on the virtual speaker session. And we're also grateful for the work that you're doing on behalf of our students.
Thanks, Paul, and thanks for everybody that attended. Glad to be working with you and hopefully work with you in the future.
And that's all the time that we have today. I'd like to thank once again Linda Salavarria for joining us. I also want to thank you who have tuned in for today's virtual speaker session. As a reminder, we'll be hosting additional sessions in the coming weeks and months. And this program is in addition to the wide array of events, networking events, career services programs that we offer. You can find information about all of our virtual events on our website at alumni.psu.edu/events. Thanks again, and we are
Penn State.